sharing the recording with everybody afterwards anyway. So good morning everyone and welcome to our next webinar in 2022. My name is Ben, I'm product manager at Open Provider. Our guest today is Gerasim, co-founder and CEO of EasyDMARC. Hi Garas, how are you? How's the day going for you?
Good, thank you. Hi everyone, thank you for joining this webinar. I hope you will get very useful information and we will enjoy it.
Perfect, thanks. So just briefly about the agenda of today's webinar. What we'll present to you is we'll provide some details about EasyDMARC features, of course, with a brief demo of the product so you can see how it looks like inside the EasyDMARC. Benefits of using EasyDMARC with your own domains related to protecting your domains and business reputation and email deliverability. We also share some numbers on how using EasyDMARC can actually increase your sales and revenue gain, both for direct users, but also in terms of our resellers offering EasyDMARC to their customers and how the product can benefit them directly. And lastly, we will talk about cooperation between Open Provider and EasyDMARC, what's involved in it, what are the benefits of this kind of cooperation for our resellers and customers. About the production launch, of course, as well, control panel, the white label options, API. So that's going to be this part of the presentation. And before we just head to the actual presentation, a few housekeeping things. As always, the webinar will last for about 40 minutes. There will be a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. There is a Q&A tab at the bottom of Zoom. Just please post your questions there and we will answer all of them at the end of the webinar. Like I mentioned, we will be sending the recording of the webinar after within the next 2 days to all the participants, our resellers. So if you have to leave earlier, hopefully not today, then you'll be able to catch up on all the topics at the convenient time. Yeah, so that's it from me. Without further ado, Garas, the stage is yours. Good luck.
Okay, thank you, Ben. So let's start. Today we'll talk about EasyDMARC, which is all-in-one email security and deliverability platform. What does it mean? Let's go step by step to understand how beneficial it can be to you. Two important facts about email. 93% worldwide successful attacks were phishing or started from phishing, basically from fake emails. Next important metric is 10% email deliverability increase can bring 15% more sales. But the only sovereign and independent communication channel in the world, which is email, always was hard and convoluted problem. Misconfigurations always possible, which can lead to data loss, financial loss, customer distress. How to solve these issues? You need to have something very comprehensive to solve your outbound email security issues, inbound security issues, and email deliverability problem. To be sure that emails will end up in the inbox instead of spam box. And we have to consider also the part that it doesn't matter what transport you use to send emails or receive emails. We already provide solution for more than 30,000 domains worldwide. We are second year #1 in G2 Crowd by customer feedback. Customer love us. We are constantly getting good feedbacks from them. We are SOC 2 compliant, GDPR compliant, and we are a leader in the market. Some benefits about us. We deliver these solutions to mitigate risks on customer side. We don't require expert knowledge from customers. We don't touch confidential data. We always stay outside of the network border of the organization, and we deliver powerful integrations which are very easy to use. Let's go some deeper in some technical details. All mentioned functionalities work on top of 3 protocols: DMARC, DKIM, and SPF. These are industry-adopted standards. These are widely adopted, and how they work. They use DNS as an authoritative third-party source to help sender and receiver to have the established communication between each other. Every sender, which is in our case domain owner, publishes their own DMARC record in their DNS, and the receiver have to respect this record. What does it mean? DMARC gives us 2 functionalities. The first one, it gives us possibility to monitor our infrastructure. When receiver mail server receives the emails and check the DMARC record, it sends DMARC aggregate reports to the service to analyze these reports. Here, where we are collecting data, analyzing data, and giving insights, configuration instructions, smart notifications, and alerts to customers. These reports contain only aggregate data, and there is no confidential data or email body in it. The second functionality which DMARC offers us, it is policy. We can publish our own policy. It is the best status, best security status is reject. When something bad and authentication is not passed for email, receiving mail server will reject that email and it will not end up in the inbox. If everything goes okay and DMARC check passes, email will end up in the inbox with a bigger, much more bigger possibility to inbox instead of spam box. So here we are getting 2 benefits. The first one, security. No one can impersonate your domain. No one can send a fake email on your behalf. The second, your emails will end up in the inbox instead of spam box. For that, DMARC uses the first protocol, SPF. It shows the sending source. Organizations usually using several sending sources: MailChimp, Zendesk, any CRM, web servers, etc., any servers to send emails. And it is hard to manage and monitor this infrastructure. So the sender, domain owner, can publish SPF record, which is the just TXT 1 line in your DNS to announce receivers from which sources you are sending emails. And when receiver receives the email, trust level increases. When it checks, it is from right source, it is right sender, definitely this email can get more trust, and again, the probability to end up inbox will be increased. But this protocol has lots of limitations: 10 DNS lookup, symbol count, syntax problems, etc., etc. So it is hard to manage manually. Later, I'll show our easy SPF solution how to automate this process. The next process, this is some simple example of the SPF record. You can see how hard it is to manage manually. The next protocol called DKIM. It works on a principle of public-private keys. In a real-life example, I can give you an example with a usual mail. Imagine you can sign your mails and after send to receiver and put your signature verification option into your DNS, which is public key, and the receiver is able to obtain this public key, verify the signature, and go forward. With SPF and DKIM, it is possible fully authenticate emails, and with DMARC, publish policy to protect your domain. Let's go to the demo part. This is EasyDMARC demo interface. You can see some generic dashboard which will show all your domains with some important metrics, statuses, which also will be able to export and use in your daily to day-to-day reporting. Again, some holistic dashboard about important metrics for each domain. And some interesting part here. EasyDMARC has the most powerful data classification algorithm in the market. We receive DMARC aggregate reports. We analyze them with our own algorithms, which are also powered by AI. We classify data to show compliance sources to customers, and they will be able to easily configure them. I also can show in the background, we do blacklist check for each sending source. And we deliver instructions and notifications how to configure each source in your infrastructure. We have more than 1,000 tested configurations for all well-known email service providers. If something even missing here, we are constantly monitoring and adding these sources. So the customer should be able to add only the right configuration and mitigate risk on their side. We have DMARC non-compliant sources. Our goal is to move everything from non-compliant to DMARC compliant with our instructions, and change the DMARC policy to reject. After applying reject policy, all fake emails will be rejected. Here you can see the example of the threat. This is the kind of attack on behalf of this domain, which was rejected. There are different visualizations and tools to check the domain status, to reveal problems and go step by step to fix these problems. We deliver different visualizations to have the holistic view of your infrastructure between making some decisions. There are deep analysis of forensic reports, and we provide easy SPF, hosted DMARC, or hosted DKIM functionalities to configure and manage all this stuff from the dashboard dynamically. Usually, resellers partner having a problem with customer DNS each time to change or request to add a new record in DNS requires time, and it creates an overhead on customers. So we deliver functionality to add once EasyDMARC subdomain record in customers DNS, and after it will be possible only these three protocols managed via dashboard. There are other useful tools to manage, for an example, of for bulk domain or IP subnet reputation. This is very useful for ISPs, domain resellers, hosting providers, etc., to analyze the thousands and thousands domains and IP addresses. To fasten all this problem, we deliver some functionality which is called email investigation, because DNS updates usually slow comparing to other processes. With this tool, you can immediately apply configuration, test your configuration, and go forward. There is advanced alerting part. We have our own algorithms to send alerts in the background, but also in each case, customer can configure any alert they want for their infrastructure. Of course, different plans, packages, permission management, single sign-on, all this enterprise stuff is available for customers. And let's go to our presentation. I mentioned that we are constantly getting good feedbacks from customers, lots of customers buying EasyDMARC, using EasyDMARC because of deliverability. These are especially marketing-oriented organizations. There are organizations which value our solutions because of some regulation standard, because of security stuff to protect their domain. You can see lots of good feedbacks in G2.com platform, or later we will share our deck with you. You can see the case studies also there. I want to emphasize one more time the deliverability, the importance of email deliverability. 89% of marketers use email as their primary channel for lead generation. And email marketing has a return on investment from $34 up to $42. HubSpot, Salesforce reporting different numbers, but it is really huge. $1 investment can bring more than $30 return. Small, medium businesses especially like these functionalities. I want to add some words about our partnership with Open Provider. We worked hard during the last year to have the integration to provide these all functionalities in a simple way with APIs in RCP panel, with a simplified, really simplified integrations, which can be a new revenue stream for you. We have usually short buying cycles. EasyDMARC is a top-rated product. It doesn't require any infrastructure change. It doesn't require expert knowledge from you or customers. We have best-in-class support. The product required by different security standards. And here there is really very important part. We have available for you white label solution to boost the visibility of your brand, except generating the revenue and strengthen the loyalty of your customers.
And so, okay, guys, so let me just add here a few points about the cooperation. Thank you very much. So there was already a question in the chat window about the product launch and if it's already available in the RCP. Unfortunately, not yet. Honestly, we were aiming to release that yesterday, but how it sometimes happens with software development, the unknown unknowns may occur. So we are now aiming at releasing the EasyDMARC to production within the next couple of days. Of course, we will notify our resellers and customers about this fact by email. However, if you would like to, like start testing or start using EasyDMARC earlier than the actual release to the publicity, when we will be sending the email with the record, I will include my email address there. Just drop me an email that you would like to get the access to EasyDMARC quicker, and we can try to arrange that for you. That's one thing. So again, the product launch should happen in the next couple of days. The white labeling thing, yes, the control panel for EasyDMARC will be white label for some resellers that are already using SSL panel from Open Provider, which is a white label panel to manage all your SSL certificates. That will be a very similar experience, meaning that the control panel that you just saw Geras was showing will be white labeled without EasyDMARC indication in terms of the footers, logo types, names, and so on, right? So you can actually provide this panel also to end customers for them to manage every domain by themselves. We are using EasyDMARC, as you can see, and reseller control panel, the same way it applies for example, DNS from Sectico or other SSL certificates. We are using Sectico branding, but again, like I said, the experience for end user will be white labeled, right? So whatever name you like to use is going to be up to you. If it comes next steps about the cooperation and the provisioning methods, of course, right? So if it comes for domains that you register through directly in RCP, or you already have set of domains in RCP, the onboarding and provisioning for EasyDMARC and the CNAME records will be automatic, right? So the moment we provision the domain, the CNAME record will be added to the DNS zone so that you can actually start using EasyDMARC. Otherwise, it's going to be domain outside open provider. You'll be simply asked to add CNAME record to a DNS zone or TXT record, right? However, with CNAME record, which is the recommended parameter to use, you'll be able to use the hosted DMARC feature that get us showed in EasyDMARC control panel, which means that you, whenever you want to change like a policy for EasyDMARC, for example, you don't have to, go to DNS zone and update your records and so on, but you can do all of that directly in EasyDMARC control panel. Now, in terms of ways to purchase EasyDMARC, obviously, so there will be 3. So the first one, of course, through our RCP, Reseller Control Panel, both either when buying new domain in RCP or when you already have a domain in RCP, you simply go to edit domain details and EasyDMARC will be there as an option next to a few other options. That will be available on launch of the product. A few days after that, we release a dedicated product, let's say product page and manage my subscription page in RCP as well. That will allow you to purchase EasyDMARC for actually any domain you want, even the ones that are not hosted at open provider. And lastly, in July, by the end of July, we will release API for EasyDMARC. So if you'd like to integrate with us, already integrated with us, and would like to start reselling EasyDMARC through the API, that will be also available. And lastly, we are also looking into building a dedicated WHMCS module for EasyDMARC. I know that there are some resellers asking for that, has been asking for that already. As for other products that we have in the portfolio, but with no WHMCS support, that's going to change. And like I said, we are looking into building the module for WHMCS as well. Yes, and if it comes for the package, we will start with one package dedicated for open provider. It's a mix of features that come as standard directly at EasyDMARC. The details about the package will be, of course, provided to you in the email that we're going to send just after the launch. But I can assure that it's going to be at very, very competitive pricing, especially if we speak about dedicated offer for our resellers. And in the future, the plan, of course, is to expand the packages portfolio, let's call it like this, and add more options, right, later this year. Yes, and most probably if there is a need from our resellers, like either technical or more commercial one, we are thinking about running another webinar somewhere in September/October. And depending on the demand and the topics that our resellers would like to cover, we can also have dedicated workshop sessions with our resellers who are willing to integrate with us for EasyDMARC and start reselling and building up the scale with EasyDMARC in terms of sales. There's an option to have one-to-one workshop together with our friends from EasyDMARC and just go through all the details, how to do it, how to communicate the product to the audience, what kind of information and what resonates the best with customers when we talk about EasyDMARC, protecting the reputation and the security of your customers' domains, on your domains as well. Of course, it's not just about your customers, but it's also protecting your businesses as well. Yeah, I guess that will be it. So like we said, let's go to the Q&A. I see that our chat is pretty pretty active. So yeah, so the first question that was in the chat was about the release and the panel. Like I said, please expect it to happen within the next couple of days. We'll start with an option to purchase EasyDMARC either for the new domain that you register in an RCP, or for any existing domain that you already have and the result control panel. Then there's a question to you, Garaz, but I think that our attendees already answered that. Can EasyDMARC read my confidential emails?
No, aggregate reports contains only sending, receiving domains, IP addresses. Okay, this also considered as PII data. That is why we're GDPR compliant. We store European customers' data in Europe, US customers in US, Asian customers' data in Asia. So our SOC 2 audit performed by Grant Thornton, it was really good audit, and we are compliant. The SOC 3 report available on our website. You can check it if you think that sending or receiving domain or IP addresses can cause some issues. The next question I see, it is maybe you are asking about why we don't apply strict policy to SPF. Yep. So there are lots of vendors which don't do well, email sending, email service providers, I mean, which are not doing well with SPF protocol. It can cause some issues, or when you are sending marketing emails and want to receive feedback on some subdomain address or on some service. In this kind of cases, you can't apply the strict policy, otherwise you break all your marketing campaigns. Here we do maximum to be compliant on SPF and rely heavily on DKIM. So security part, DKIM can cover fully, and SPF we need to have the best delivery. This is very interesting topic for engineers. It is already several years we are arguing, we're opening tickets with vendors. Several of them already fixed. Last case was with Microsoft even. They had a bug, we reported, they fixed. So this can be the time for another discussion also. But again, you can be 100% sure that with DKIM protocol, you can be totally authenticated and secure.
Okay.
Again, question.
Sorry, Gras.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
There is a question about white labeling. Like we mentioned, yes, the control panel for EasyDMARC, the one that you're going to use with the cooperation open provider is white labeled. So no EasyDMARC indication there. Like I said, it's a similar experience that you have if you already purchase SSL certificates from us and use SSL panel. It's the similar experience. Like the SSL panel is basically non-labeled, wire-labeled panel where you can manage all the certificates. The next question was about the price difference between your online retail price and the one that you would offer to resellers. So like I mentioned, we will have a dedicated package that will be different than what you can see directly on EasyDMARC.com website. That means that the price will be also, of course, different. We will start, if it comes for standard pricing, for the beginning, we'll start with $749 monthly Europe for non-members and $649 for members. Like with any other product and the approach that we have to our resellers, if you'd like to to discuss let's say a deal, although I'd like to avoid this word, a way to resell EasyDMARC to your customers, and you have an idea how to scale up the sales, we can, of course, our sales team can discuss with you special terms depending on the volumes that and the ways you would like to resell EasyDMARC. Let me just browse quickly through our chat.
There is a question about Plesk. Yes, you can use with Plesk, because Plesk doesn't provide a DMARC record and provide function to manage your SPF and DKIM records. It will be much more useful to use even with Plesk. At this moment, we have integration with cPanel. It is just a plugin which you can enable in cPanel and provide your customers. In the future, if will be request for Plesk, we can deliver plugin for Plesk. Also, just enable all this stuff and manage just by one click.
Okay. There's a question about where are the servers hosted. Gras.
European data hosted in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam location. We use Oracle Cloud to store the main data, PI data stored in Oracle Cloud, in managed SQL servers, non-SQL servers, and even the hard disk encrypted from the ground. Even if some Oracle employee will try to get some data from there, it will be encrypted. We also use Amazon and Google. And again, this is distributed infrastructure. All European data will be stored in Europe, in Amsterdam. In US, we store data in East Coast and in West Coast. For Asia, we store data in Armenia.
Okay, great. So there's another question about when EasyDMARC will be available. Like we mentioned, that will happen within the next couple of days. There's also a question, so-called off-topic one, about separate panels for DNS management, EasyDMARC, and other products. Jody, let's take it outside the webinar. Like I said, there will be an email address in the summary email with the recording. Just please email me directly about this topic, and we can have a separate discussion on this idea. We have planned for host bill EasyDMARC integration. Not at this point, unfortunately, but well, it's an idea to evaluate in the future. Can you repeat the end user and the reseller prices, please? So again, that's going to be in the email as well that we're going to send when we launch the product. But now it's $749 for non-members and $649 standard prices, right? So $749 for non-members monthly and $649 for members monthly as well. Okay, let me just browse. It's per month per domain, exactly. So currently the package that we have, so just to elaborate on that. So the package that we'll offer at the beginning through Open Provider is for one domain. And it's monthly subscription that will be auto-renewed an RCP. However, if you go to EasyDMARC.com, you'll see that there are also packages that allow you to add 2, 5, and more domains. And this is the plan for us as well, right? So we wanted to start with an easy package to sort of like to understand, to build, and to subscribe. But then the plan is, of course, in the future to like expand this portfolio, right? So to give an option, like starting with this, let's call the basic package for one domain, and then offer a package for, let's say, 2 domains, 5 domains, 10 domains, or whatever the number. Domains. Yeah, so whatever number is gonna be. Anyway, like even if it's like for one domain, you will be able to manage your domains through one EasyDMARC panel, right? So you don't have to like switch between panels. Yes, so apart from standard price, EasyDMARC will be available for membership plans. Yes, so like I said, the membership plan is, I mean, I try and avoid the name standard, but the starting price for members is $649 in comparison to $749 for non-members. However, like I mentioned, and you know, the resellers who are cooperating with us for longer periods and are dealing with our sales team on a daily basis, we're open to to a discussion with you, our resellers on special deals and how we can actually scale up the sale through your channels to your end customers, right? So then the price depending on the volume, the plan that we come up with together, the marketing plan, the communication plan. The price is, well, negotiable, let's say. Okay, let me just check if we have anything else. Okay, so we have nothing in Q&A tab, so it's all in chat tab.
There is a question about, we use Google Workspace. Do I need EasyDMARC?
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. As I mentioned, it doesn't matter what sending source you use or receiver use. Yes, you need to have DMARC and email authentication in place. Google Workspace provides you ability to deploy email authentication, but they don't provide functionality or DMARC reporting by themselves. Next question, and also Google provide a kind of best in class spam protection, etc., but global targeted phishing attacks easily passing their security checks. Does deployment needs infrastructure changes? No, it is. We are starting just from one TXT line, which is DMARC in your DNS. No infrastructure change. For further deployment, SPF, DKIM, each source should be authenticated, and each service has its own rules and configuration management instructions.
Yeah, so for the about, because there's a question also about the DNS records and white labeling. So basically, if it comes for CNAME and also the control panel that will be available to our resellers, we are using let's call non-labeled domain. So it's going to be dmarcprotect.me. That's used for panel, and the same domain is used for the CNAME record. So there is no, in the CNAME record, there's no indication for CNAME. For EasyDMARC. Okay. So no domain can be used. No, at this point, Garas, maybe you can support me here.
It depends on the volume, you can say. Product is, white labeled, and this is generic solution for not only one case, but we worked very hard with open provider to make everything simple. In the future, we are planning also to add some white labeled alerting mechanism to be able to manage by addresses who receive these alerts, customers or seller, or some employee who receive on customer side, someone no. They will receive management reports or technical reports. This report will be with logos or without logos. So feel free to send also feature requests. It will be very useful for us. We have our own backlog with open provider, but we also consider this request also from your side.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to add as well, right? So our approach from the beginning, well, we were hesitating how to do it, right? So whether to go fully with EasyDMARC, non-labeled, white labeled, allow white labeling for, every reseller or partner separately. Well, we figure out that providing by default, providing in white labeled panel and the experience will be the best option for the beginning. But like Geras mentioned, it all depends on the volumes, right? And then it is possible to have a separate let's say brand. I'll call it brand for selected resellers. If it comes for what Geras said about the features and what we will be adding in the future, well, EasyDMARC is now adding a lot of features on monthly, weekly basis. Even we are like flooded with features, and those features will be, of course, added to EasyDMARC. That's one thing to the EasyDMARC that we're gonna resell through open provider. The other thing is, again, like I mentioned before a few times, in the email, there will be my email address. I will be responsible for the product at Open Provider. If you have any ideas, any requests for features, either regarding the product or white labeling or anything that comes to your mind about basically about the product and how you would, I don't know, improve it or what you would like to see there, just don't hesitate, email me directly. We had run several surveys in the past couple of months, and I had contact with many of our resellers talking about products, implementations, ideas. And I would really like to keep that flow going on regarding every product that we're going to have in the future, specifically with EasyDMARC, which is, well, the security product. It's one of the most important products that you can have in your portfolio for your customers to boost their security and reputation of their domains in the business. So yeah, so feel free to email me. We can jump on a call to discuss it anytime you need. I'm very much open to have this communication flow with our customers and resellers, including like Gareth mentioned, considering adding features specifically for even for Open Provider. Is it possible to manage it using API? So we will be adding API for Open Provider public API in near future. Ideally, we'd like to do it in July, but we'll keep you posted, right? It's about, like I said, the software development not always goes according to the plan as we would like to. But yeah, eventually, of course, the API will be there, meaning that ideally the way you, for example, your customers will be provisioning or buying EasyDMARC will be similar to the way you're doing an RCP. So your customer buys domain, let's say they buy domain, they add EasyDMARC to the order and the checkout flow, let's say, and the rest is done automatically, right? All the domain that you're already hosting, right? So that's our goal. Yeah. So because we know that there are many resellers that like to simply resell EasyDMARC through their channels. They have their own billing panels, control panels, their own sort of brand to do it, public brand. So yeah, definitely the goal is to allow the way we have it for SSL certificates, for premium DNS and other products to allow for that for EasyDMARC, and of course future products that we're gonna add as well. Okay, anything else? Let me check this. EasyDMARC, okay, so we went through this. Is a trial possible for clients that want to check product first? Well, basically, we sort of we were being quite resistant if it comes for trial, especially if it comes for the public trials, right? So going and buying the product by yourself. What we can do actually, if you like to test the product for a month by yourself as a reseller, again, please email me directly. I believe we can figure out something together, right? So not just giving you, because I wouldn't like just to give the access to subscription and go ahead, play around. I'd rather go through the product with you, through the control panel with you, and either me and you, or we can invite us also our friends from EasyDMARC to just give you the the overview of the panel, what's possible there, and so on, right? So I'd rather have that kind of trial than just pure subscription for a month. That's it. I hope that works. Can you enable it for domains registered elsewhere? Yes, that's going to be possible. So within the next couple of days, we release the EasyDMARC for domains registered at Open Provider or new domains registered at Open Provider. But a few days later, there will be a dedicated product page directly in the Reseller Control Panel with an option to buy EasyDMARC for any domain you want. The only difference is going to be when you register a domain with us, we are able simply to inject CNAME into DNS zone. If that's going to be a domain outside Open Provider, you will be provided with information what CNAME record you have to add to your DNS zone manually. So that's the only difference. But yes, well, I would recommend transferring domains to open provider, obviously. But if for whatever reason you would like to use it for domain outside open provider, yes, that's going to be, of course, possible. Okay. Any other question? Just browsing again through the charts quickly. Price difference. We discussed pricing.
Questions?
Yeah, we discussed pricing. We discussed white labeling, some security stuff regarding EasyDMARC, the APIs. Yeah. So in the meantime, just to summarize, so like I mentioned, within the next 2 days, we'll be sending recording of this webinar to all participants and other resellers. Like I mentioned, there will be my email address. So if you have any additional questions that you didn't ask, or something that comes to your mind afterwards, just or about the features, about the trials, all the things we discussed today during the webinar, just simply email me directly. I would like to help you. We have, of course, our sales team that is open to discussion about how to scale up the sales in terms of EasyDMARC. EasyDMARC is an ongoing project. Like I said, we start off with so-called MVP with one package. So the simplest way we can, so that you can quickly onboard with the product. But the plan is, like I said, to go broader, right? To add new packages, add new packages in the future. Like I said, add integration, preferably for WMCS and other billing platforms, billing applications as well, so that more and more resellers who are using different solutions, let's call it, can benefit from using EasyDMARC. Yes, the webinar will be available. So the recording will be sent within the next 2 days to our resellers in an email. We are currently testing with trial account on EasyDMARC.com. Can we migrate this when open provider and white label goes live? I mean, migration in this terms, you have to correct me if I'm wrong. You have to remove the domain from that and add it to EasyDMARC, but you lose all the configuration, or we can do it something like in the backend to migrate that to our piece of infrastructure.
It very depends what data they have and how it is stored at this moment. Some manual action possibly will be needed on the backside, as these two platforms really separated, the integration with open provider and the EasyDMARC platform itself. But yeah, just reach out to Ben. Everything will be organized easily.
Yeah, Stefan. So yeah, let's take it outside the webinar. Please email me directly, and then we'll figure out how we can do it efficiently for you to migrate between. It's like, again, like Geras mentioned, for open provider, EasyDMARC created a separate infrastructure, for our resellers, right? Specifically for our resellers and our way we are, building a business with you on a daily basis. But I guess that hopefully that's going to be doable. Yes, so I don't see any other question in the chat thread. I think we pretty much nailed the topic, I hope. I mean, there's much more into EasyDMARC, obviously. There is already a set of knowledge base articles that we created, the basic ones in our open provider knowledge base, of course. The support is provided by us, obviously, by open providers. So you simply, as with any other product, go to us directly. All the links and that information will be, again, provided in the email once we release the product to production and send and communicate that openly to you. Yes, I think that we can wrap it up. Well, it took a bit longer, but that's good. We had a lot of nice, interesting questions, and it was good that we can answer them. So yes, Geras, anything you'd like to add from your side before we conclude?
Maybe the only case maybe can be very useful to know people. This integration will be only available for open provider So at least till the end of this year, no one else will have this functionality. This is really, really good cooperation. We value it, and we decided to keep it at least till the end of this year only for open provider.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so thank you very much again for participating in this webinar. Please expect all those emails I mentioned during the webinar within the next couple of days. Again, email me directly if you have any question about the product specifically. Yeah, thank you very much. Have a nice afternoon and nice weather depending on your location. And yeah, see you later during the next webinar from Open Provider. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.